Hello everyone, welcome back to English Conversation Studio. I'm Anna, and today we are going to practice a very important real-life situation, which is taking a taxi or ride in English. Because when you travel or live in a big city, you often need transportation, and knowing how to speak with a driver clearly and naturally will help you avoid confusion, feel more confident, and reach your destination safely without stress.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex, and in today's lesson, we will go step by step through a full taxi conversation, starting from calling a taxi, speaking with the driver, explaining your destination, asking about price and time, and finishing the ride politely, so you can use these sentences in real life without hesitation and sound more natural in English.
Let's imagine that I am standing outside and I need a taxi, so I stop a driver and say, "Hello, could you please take me to the city center?" Because this is a simple, polite and direct way to tell the driver where I want to go without any confusion.
Yes, and the driver will usually respond, "Sure, hop in," or "Yes, I can take you there," because taxi conversations are usually short and focused on the destination and travel details.
Before starting the ride, I might ask, how much will the trip cost approximately? Because it is always important to know the price range before or during the trip to avoid misunderstanding.
And the driver may say, "It depends on traffic, but it will be around $10 to $15, because taxi prices often change depending on road conditions and distance.
If I want to be more specific, I can say, "Please take the fastest route because I am a bit in a hurry today," because sometimes time is very important and we need to communicate that clearly.
Yes, and the driver might respond, "Okay, I will use the main road. It should be faster," because drivers usually know which routes are better depending on traffic.
During the ride, I might ask, how long will it take to reach the destination? Because knowing the estimated time helps me plan my schedule better.
And the driver might say, "It will take about 20 minutes, maybe a little longer if there is traffic," because travel time is always flexible in real city conditions.
If I don't hear something clearly, I can say, "Sorry, could you please repeat that? I didn't hear you well," because it is very normal to ask for repetition in a moving car.
And the driver will say, "Sure, I said we will arrive in about 20 minutes," because repeating information helps avoid misunderstanding.
Sometimes I might want to change the destination a little, so I can say, "Actually, could you drop me near the shopping mall instead?" Because plans can change during travel.
Yes, and the driver will respond, "No problem, I will adjust the route," because flexibility is part of taxi service.
If I want to be polite, I can also ask, "Is it okay if we make a short stop on the way?" Because sometimes passengers need small stops during the trip.
And the driver might say, "Yes, that is fine, just let me know where to stop," because communication is key in these situations.
While traveling, I might also start a small conversation by saying, "Do you drive taxis every day?" Because small talk makes the ride feel more natural and friendly.
And the driver might answer, "Yes, I work full-time as a driver. It is my daily job," because casual conversation is common in taxis.
I can continue by saying, "It must be interesting to meet many different people every day because this keeps the conversation polite and friendly."
And the driver may say, yes, I meet many tourists and locals. Every day is different, because taxi drivers often have interesting experiences.
If I feel unsure about the route, I can say, are you sure this is the correct way to the city center? Because it is okay to ask for confirmation politely.
And the driver will respond, yes, this is the best route. I check traffic all the time, because experienced drivers know the roads well.
When we arrive, I can say, please stop here. This is my destination. Thank you, because this is the final instruction to end the ride.
And the driver will say, we have arrived. Have a nice day, because this is the standard way to finish a taxi trip.
Then I can ask, can I pay by card or only cash? Because payment methods are very important to confirm before leaving.
And the driver might say, you can pay by both card and cash, whatever is easier for you, because modern taxis often support multiple payment options.
After paying, I can say, thank you for the ride. It was very comfortable and fast, because giving feedback is polite and respectful.
And the driver will respond, you're welcome, have a good day, because a friendly goodbye is always normal.
So today we practiced a full taxi conversation, including calling a taxi, explaining directions, asking about price, and finishing the ride politely, which is very useful in real-life travel situations.
Yes, and if you practice these sentences regularly, you will feel much more confident and natural when speaking English during transportation or travel.
If you enjoyed this lesson, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to English Conversation Studio.
Keep practicing every day, and we will see you in the next lesson.
Thank you for listening.
See you next time.